the network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
is AV.
This
is AVNation.
This is AVNation.
P-I-C-O. Pico. Prospective. Pico Prospective.
Hey everyone, this is Paul with PicoPros.com, and tonight we're bringing you episode 10 of Pico Prospectives. This is our podcast where we dig into all the news and product reviews related to portable and Pico projectors. Again, I'm Paul. I am co-founder of PicoPros.com. This is my partner and co-founder, Rich. He's also the technology evangelist. He's more of the tech guru, behind-the-scenes IT guy,
the nerd.
The nerd, yeah, the co-nerd. And tonight we actually have a really special show for you guys tonight. Tonight we have a guest from GetSmart, Anthony Link from GetSmart, associated with Accupix, and he has some really cool stuff we're going to get into related to the SmartPico, Pico projector, and a few other things. So, Anthony, how you doing tonight?
Nice to see you guys.
You
I'm
as
doing
well.
Very well.
We actually had you on close to a year ago to talk about some related stuff, but it's nice to see you again after about a year, I think.
Yeah, you were on our very first podcast. You were on our first podcast, so that's very special.
You're our first repeat customer. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you asking me back on.
Of course. So again, Anthony is associated with Accupix, but he's he's the president of GetSmart, and they have a range of products that we could get into sometime. But again, tonight we're going to talk about the SmartPico and some related items there. But before we get into Anthony and GetSmart and Accupix and the SmartPico, we have some. So the first one, I think Rich has some exciting news for one of the potentially up-and-coming Pico projector companies.
Yeah,
so flip it over to you.
Yeah, so let's start with the news. First thing on the news agenda is a company called Microvision. We've been following them for quite some time. Microvision, if anybody that's watching does not know, they're a maker of the Pico P display technology. It's an ultra-small Pico projector, laser-based, which one of the big reasons that you want to do laser-based is that you don't need to focus. But the news here is that they have received a purchase order for about $1.9 million for components. So they'll deliver components to this Fortune Global 100 customer. And so this is apparently components for an HD display module that is being developed by this global Fortune Global 100 company. So again, it's valued at $1.9 million, so it's pretty significant. And apparently it was done, or this is a follow-up from an April 2013 agreement.
Yeah.
So this global Fortune Global 100 company, just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what they're doing, they're aimed at developing this module for Pico projectors and other devices that have projector functionality. Probably one of the main things that I'm thinking of is heads-up displays, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But Microvision plans to start shipping their components to support this in Q4 of 2014. So pretty soon. So anyway, who is this company, right? So we're thinking it's probably Sony.
Yeah.
It looks like it could be Sony.
Yeah, I mean, we've been following it very closely over the last number of years. And based on the wording in the press release, they're very secretive. Microvision, I shouldn't say secretive. They're limited on what they can release in press releases. But if you follow their press releases over the last year and a half, they talked about partnering with this Global 100 OEM, and then all the milestones leading up to that. And then they signed a Global 500 OEM, which means a slightly smaller company. But this is the Global 100, so this is the big kahuna, if you will. And February of this past year, Sony announced that they were using Microvision's technology in part of a development agreement. There was like a $4.9 million or so, and this is sort of a follow-on purchase order to that agreement. So I'm 99.9% sure this is the Sony. Sony's issuing this purchase order for roughly $1.9 million of components, and it's. If I had to guess, it's probably MEMS mirrors and optics, and beyond that, Sony's probably doing everything else themselves.
Yeah, one thing that I think it may come into play is that I know that they're Sony is a big player with Ford right now. They have Sony audio systems in the Fords, like in the new Ford Fusion. So tying this in with a heads-up display, could Ford be developing a heads-up display with this technology?
You hear a lot of things about Ford. They have sync and all that. It would be only natural that you'd have voice communicating with a head-up display, and the whole infotainment thing.
A lot of cars are starting to do heads-up displays. The Mazda, I think it's the Mazda 3.
Audi has Audi/Land Rover has some laser head-up displays.
The BMW 3 Series is starting to do a lot of HD heads-up display type stuff.
A lot of them
so,
are.
I don't know. I don't know if that's really a connection at all, but
it could be. I mean, Sony showed at CES this past year some really interesting laser-based stuff. One was a 4K TV, which wouldn't be using Microvision's technology. I can't see how, but a really high quality projected TV using laser diodes. Yeah. But they showed some other interesting stuff with laser-based touch Pico projection, for what they call life space UX. Really interesting stuff, whether it's the cube that projects on the wall or this tabletop lamp that projects on the table, and you could share videos and stuff. Really interesting stuff that Sony's doing, and whoever's technology they're using, or their own SXRD or whatever it's called, Sony's on the cusp of the leading edge on some stuff, actually, believe it or not, even though they're kind of fledgling, if you will, in the consumer electronics space.
Yeah, we were just talking about this earlier today. Sony's into all these different things.
They're in tough shape, though, so they need to find a home run, and maybe Pico Projection will be that avenue for them. I really don't know, but for all intents and purposes, for what Rich is talking about, it's a small purchase order in the grand scheme of things, $1.9 million. But it's interesting to see Sony's perpetuating this. The development of this technology. We'll see if it goes anywhere. Semi-skeptical at this point, but we'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
that's about it for that news segment.
Yeah, and beyond that, so switching gears a little bit.
Yep.
It's actually something that we posted not too long ago on our Facebook page. Is the announcement by Celluon. They actually make laser-based projected keyboards. So there's like the little Bluetooth module. It's a little bit bigger than a pack of gum that you'd put on your desktop, and it projects a laser keyboard, and it does touch projection, so you can type wirelessly on your smartphone or your tablet, and use this and pair it by Bluetooth. And that's been around for a few years. And last year they announced a green version, which is 3 times as bright, using the green laser diode. Now that they're becoming available. Okay, so that's cool. But what's interesting is that Celluon, has shown a prototype at IFA Berlin, which is an IFA show this past month.
Some Sony stuff there too.
Yeah. It's a big show in Berlin every year, and at IFA they showed actually a laser-based Pico projector that actually has some Wi-Fi capability, so you can use your screen, mirroring of your smartphone or tablet to show content from this Air Pico. And I think George is showing the video of the Air Pico that they showed from IFA Berlin.
Wow,
and so it's fairly, I think the video makes it look larger than it is, but it's probably like 2 times the size of a cell phone, judging by the person's hands and stuff. But it does have a laser-based Pico projection engine. It offers screencasting, this kind of thing. But the interesting thing is it's actually a 720p module, from what they're saying. And it doesn't have a fan. They say it's quiet operation. All this. Again, this is a prototype. What is
the white versus the blue there in the end?
Yeah, I don't like.
The first
I don't like the way
I don't know what this.
I don't like the way they designed it. I think they could have made it one housing.
It's the first.
It is a prototype.
It looks like it's
glued together.
Blue, and it looks like it's 2 separate.
It's not. It's one device, and I don't like the housing either. And it's what's interesting is that's an HD or 720p HD engine, and it's laser based, so no need to focus, that kind of thing. It's a prototype at this point. Talking to the company, it sounds like they intend to launch it at the end of the year, and depending on what you read, $350 to $400. So I guess we'll see. But beyond that, that's all we have for the Air Pico. It's kind of short and sweet, but it's interesting if nothing else.
Yeah, so those are the 2 news things that we got going on.
Yeah,
awesome.
Exactly. And so I guess we'll flip it over to the main topic. Again, we have Anthony Link of Get Smart, who's affiliated with to talk about the SmartPico projector. So again, Anthony, welcome to the show, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you very much again for having me.
Absolutely. So I thought maybe we'd take a minute. Do you want to describe what your role with Get Smart is? Like, who is Get Smart?
Well, we're affiliated with Accupix, Get Smart is, and we've been working on this, as you know, for probably the last 5 years. You know, we've gone through a lot of iterations. We know very well about the prototype stage, but you know, now this is going to be coming out in mass production. We're talking with a number of retailers that it'll be coming out soon, even before the Christmas time. So this isn't a prototype. This is, you know, we've got it. It's going to be mass produced, and it's ready to go. I'm actually holding it right here. We have both the black and the white model. I know that both of you.
Is nice.
Oh, nice.
I like the white model too. I know that both of you have seen it. We really call this basically a lifestyle projector, and the reason that it's lifestyle is that, you know, in all the research, it seems that for the Pico projectors, mostly the business people have been buying it. Yeah. But with ours, the lifestyle part of it is around that with our device, you know, we have Android 4.22 on board. And you've got the full use of Android 2.22. You know, I've seen some of them that say have Android on board, and it basically has one button you push, you can't use anything. This has the entire Android system on it. You guys have played with it. You know, you can do all of your games. You can do all of your presentations. You can do all of your apps. You can. I mean, I've watched. You know, just to give you some of the things that I've done with it, besides watching movies that you always hear for the Pico projectors. But I'm an Oklahoma Sooner football fan. I watched an Oklahoma Sooner football game, watching CNN, ESPN3 through this. And you know, it has Wi-Fi on board, so I don't need to connect anything. It also has the availability to do Apple AirPlay with a app that we have on it, so you could throw your images from any Apple device. We also have the mirror casting. We also have the mirror casting from, and I know you guys didn't even know about the Apple AirPlay because that's something new that we're just announcing today. We also have the
breaking news. Here live.
we also have the mirror casting from any of the Samsung devices, and when we call it lifestyle, because, you know, we're going to be coming out with different packages. You know, in the retail market, we're going to come out with a basic. There's obviously a dog is not happy. We're going to be coming. You know, we're going to be coming out with a basic package, and the basic package it includes the SmartPico. It includes our tripod with it. It also includes a pouch, an 8 GB high-speed Samsung micro SD card, so you have additional 8 GB in there. It also comes with our thin-line screen, and thin-line is what we helped. Another company developed it. It's another company's products, but we were hand-in-hand in developing it. And it's something to where whether you're buying our Pico or any other Pico, you know, what is one of the big items? The big items is what are you going to show it on? You know, and the way this came up is when we were developing and working on the Picos even 4 or 5 years ago, you would go to meetings and have a Pico, and where are you going to shoot it? Right. Well, this company, USI, has helped develop the thin line, and it's something that is like an 11.5 screen, but you can literally take it, put it together really quick. I have one right here, and then it's like tabletop, but it has a special film on here where it really shows up. So even if it's light, you know, in the room, wherever you are, you're able to present it and do the, you know, show whatever you want to do on there. Thinline also has larger ones that are 32-inch or 45-inch, where you can put it on the wall, taking it down. Yeah. I was at a meeting yesterday where I put it up on the wall, showed it, took it down, and they were all amazed. So that's, you know, that's why what we've really done is combine this whole thing, and also what's on the that's included in the package is we've got our ImageAmo program that I know you guys know a lot about, where you can project all the 3D images. We have the ImageAmo jukebox where you can project that. And we're also working with ImageAmo in another way, where I know if you go to the Pico Pro's website, you'll see what we call an iris code. An iris is what came from ImageAmo, if you can download their their Lighthouse Scanner application on either Android or Apple, and you can scan that code or use any other QR code reader, and you'll be able to get a wrapper of all of the product information about SmartPico. All the stuff we're talking about today. You'll be able to get some of your reviews that you guys we really appreciate. That was on there.
Podcasts on here.
Absolutely, you can watch your. We'll put a link to all your podcasts. So anybody that wants additional information, you just go to the Pico Pro's website, scan that code, and you'll get this whole wrapper that comes up. And if you really want the latest in terms of scanner and the best presentation, just download LighthouseScanner.com.
Yeah, I mean, we've been, like you alluded to, it's been 4 or 5 years, whatever it's been, we've been interfacing with you guys for quite a while, and you know, you have the app piece with the ImageAmo. We can talk a little bit about that in detail because that was a lot of information, Anthony, and there's a lot you guys have been doing over the last 4 years. So I kind of want to yeah, exactly. I want to take it piecemeal almost for our listeners, viewers, because you know, they're probably saying, what the heck is going on? There's a lot of information here, right? And so, yeah, I mean, so the SmartPico itself, just to kind of recap, it is, you know, and we did have it for about a week, I think it was.
A couple of weeks. It was awesome.
Almost, and it
I
really
love that it has. I love that it has Android built into it.
Exactly.
That's actually one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
The thing about a lot of the projectors that we've been reviewing before the SmartPico is that you have to connect it to a device. You got all these wires.
Exactly.
With the SmartPico, it's awesome. You turn it on, and you have Android on it. You're able to. A lot of people have Android phones now. You connect your Google account.
Exactly.
You have all your games, all your videos, anything you buy through the Play Store on the SmartPico. So you have it all there, right there on one device that you're used to. You're comfortable with an Android device.
Yeah.
You know how to get around. It's just awesome.
I liken it to smartphones, right? You had feature phones, which are like the dumb phones, right? Your flip phone from 10 years ago, right? So that's like all the Pico projectors pre-2014. You had to hook it up with a cable. They had no operating system really to speak of. They had, you know, composite video, maybe HDMI if you were lucky, and USB. Now you have something like the SmartPico, embedded operating system.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi or you know, Miracast or screencasting, whatever you want to call it, or AirPlay, depending on your device.
Yeah.
Now we're entering the smartphone era, if you will, quote unquote, of Pico projectors. So we're finally making that jump after watching this space for 7+
like a dynamic
years.
projector, rather than a lot of the projectors that are out there prior to this projector. Is you have all your content on the projector. You know, there's onboard storage, which is great, but you have your videos and that, and it's like, okay, that's great. I have all my pictures and video on the projector, and you can show those. But the thing about, I'm a big fan about the embedded operating system and the wireless capability, because if you're out and about and you connect to a Wi-Fi network, and you can pull up a website, you could pull up YouTube. You
don't need a smartphone to use it.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to have.
It's completely autonomous. Yeah. Exactly. And if you decide you want to download whatever game or whatever it is, you don't need your smartphone until you just play it right on the device. I mean, anybody watching this should look at our YouTube channel and look at some of the, you know, we only had it for a short period of time, but look what we've posted so far about the SmartPico. We did a few demonstrations of the Wi-Fi capability of the device. We're hoping we get our hands on one again. And if we can't get another one from Anthony, we'll just buy one from you guys when it's available very soon. Hopefully,
mirror control. You can have the device sitting in your living room.
Yeah.
And you can control the SmartPico from the couch using your Android.
Yeah, they have a couple. There's one's like a remote control app. It's called Mirror Control.
Yeah.
So you can use your smartphone as it literally has arrows. You could use it to select and say OK. And so it's like, it's really well thought out. And I know you guys took your time, obviously, and did it right, as opposed to rushing something on the market. And for that, I give you guys kudos, because it's going to be very frustrating to sit there and, you know, think your device is ready, and then you realize it's not quite ready. So I kudos to that, for that patience.
Well, thank you. Yeah, when we came out, we wanted to come out strong with all of the embedded functionality, just like you said, because it's interesting. You know, I was in a meeting just a couple of days ago, and someone was asking, well, how do you know, if you have a presentation, how are you going to show it on there? Well, you show it on there by downloading it. You download it, you show it by Android. I'll give you another something. I was flying from Chicago to Tampa from Tuesday night, and I was on United, and it was a 3-hour flight. I had the extra seating, no middle seat, person to my left, my right, and I started playing with. I put up my projector in the thin line right there, so I was playing it on the flight. Nice. And and the guy was all interested, so we started talking. And I've got a pool app on there. So what I did is I put in the middle seat up in front. I took out the tray. I put the thin line right there. I put the Pico on in the seat, and him and I played 3 games of pool all the way there. I had the stewardess. Awesome. I had the stewardess behind me, and this is why we call it a lifestyle type of projector. You know, that's not something that you would normally do with any of the projectors that's come out over the past 5, 6, 7, whatever many years. I mean, we were playing pool on a plane. We had people looking over us. He beat me 2 games. He beat me 2 games. I won 1. I thought we were gonna end up on CNN by someone, getting upset because we were playing showing it. The other thing is after we played some pool, I was using the ImageAmo. I was showing some of the 3D photos of them, and you get this wow effect when you can go on. I was watching my Oklahoma Sooners in a 100-inch screen projecting on the wall in one of the games. You've got the whole onboard system, and then you have all of the other systems. We also, I know something you guys didn't do on, but any Bluetooth speaker. Any Bluetooth speaker, hook it up, you have your whole entertainment system. Right. So that's another avenue, and then we'll be coming out with a gaming package. And the gaming package is going to include an Android-based controller, so you're projecting and you're playing your games right there. So just like you said, it's moving from the dumb projectors, no offense, the dumb Pico projectors that didn't have anything on board and was just basically need another device. So now this is what we call it, a smart Pico projector. The smart lifestyle Pico projector, because it's all right there, just like the phones did. You guys described it perfectly with that.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's all
it really is.
Operating system with the wireless capability. Those are the 2 things I'm really awesome.
The smart Pico is the brains of the operation and the display, and then you hook up all these peripherals around it, depending on your situation, to make it work the way you want it to. And if you don't want any peripherals, you can still use it by itself. It's just a great setup.
One of the things, the Bluetooth capability is actually one of the great things that I think it's what is the words I'm looking for? It's underappreciated, maybe. The
Bluetooth,
with a speaker in that. I mean, you could have a complete mobile entertainment system.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I'll give you guys an example right now. While we're talking right now, and I'll just move over here. Hopefully, you guys can see it. Here's the ESPN College Football Thursday night. I've got my Bluetooth speaker going.
Oh, that's on the smart Pico, huh?
That's all. It's all smart Pico, no wires. I can put a ring through it if you think it's a magician. I've got my, I'm an Oklahoma Sooner fan, but I still watch the Big 12. So I'm watching Texas Tech and Oklahoma State on ESPN right now using the ESPN.
That's awesome. So multitasking,
So you've got your phone, you've got your tablet. Well, that's great, but the tablet's only this size. But you know what? There's no way I'm going to take a TV from place to place. So this is where you can take it and you can expand who you show it to. You can expand your horizons. You can expand where your audience. If you're in a meeting, you're passing this back and forth. Even the tablet. Even the phones, and some of the phones are getting as large as the tablet these days. But with this, you can go up to 100 inches, or you can go down. With our thin line, which this is still even bigger than the tablet. And by the way, it's 7-all right now for anybody listening.
Any Sooners fans out there?
Hey,
it's open to Sooners on Twitter.
Giants game was at 8 o'clock, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We need to turn on the Giants-Redskins game. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't call them Redskins. The Washington game. That's another topic. But I guess you guys are using, a DLP engine in there?
We're using a DLP engine right there. Now we have the current model in first quarter. We'll also be coming out with another one that has a higher resolution, so we'll have 2 because this model right here, which is, you guys have seen it, how small it is. It's as big. It's as big. I mean, here's an iPhone, and here's the projector. Exactly. So it's literally smaller, and we kept it under with the DLP with the 45 lumens because we wanted to keep this small. We wanted to keep the cost down. Exactly. The package itself, when I talked about the basic package with the tripod, the pouch, the micro SD, that's $449 retail. Then we also have the higher resolution that will come out in the first or second quarter, and that'll be 100 lumen one, but that's going to be bigger. We wanted to make one small because this you can take anywhere. Right.
So DLP, I mean, they're obviously the leading company in the space. They probably, I don't know the numbers, but they're probably 2/3 of the market or more as far as sales. It's for anybody listening. This is the same technology that is used in, cinemas these days. Most cinemas are using DLP chipsets. What they've done is they shrunk down the chips from very large down to really small. I mean, if you look on our page, our Facebook page, or our PicoPros.com, and some of the other, on YouTube or whatever, you could see that they shrunk down the chipset really small, and they could get, now they have Pico chipsets that are 720p that theoretically, or not theoretically, they are being embedded in maybe not something as small as a cell phone, but not too much bigger. You're getting 720p resolution, and the technology is just getting better and better. So 2 years from now, no doubt in my mind, you'll have something like what Anthony has there. It's going to be 720p or even 1080p.
We were just talking about this
today.
It's going to just go whoop, exponential.
Yeah, see, this is what we built. We built a lifestyle system that's all embedded. Now, for us to go up on the Pico, it's just whatever's out in the market and whatever the consumers are demanding on the price range.
Exactly.
So there's so many companies that have come out and have tried to do the prototypes of the high-end ones, but it costs $1,000 to have it. So Acupix and all of us spend all of the time developing everything embedded in the lifestyle Pico, and now just ride the Pico technology as it advances. To make it a consumer product.
That's the way to go. Nobody's going to spend $800 or $1,000 on I don't even want to call it an accessory device in the case of the SmartPico because you don't even need a phone to operate it. But people want to carry around multiple devices, and they certainly don't want to spend $1,000 for a secondary device. So something what'd you say? What was the price point on the SmartPico, or is that not been announced?
No, the SmartPico complete package where you get the tripod, the thin line, all of that is $449.
Wow.
And then we have the gaming device and the entertainment device that's coming out that include for the gaming, the controller, and for the entertainment, a Bluetooth speaker and a large thin line that you'll be able to get.
Will that be a Bluetooth controller? Or how?
No, it'll be a Bluetooth controller for the gaming package.
Yeah.
So so like on the plane that we were doing, instead of having to use the mouse that we were using and going back and forth, we have the then I would have probably gotten in a lot of trouble. I mean, then I'm sure my son that loves to play games will take the package then. But right now it doesn't. That market is not being picked up by the Picos because there's no device until ours that allows that.
Exactly.
This is now we see ours as expanding it out. Whether you're in the photos, whether you're in the videos, whether you're in the presentation, the gaming, entertainment, everything all in one to this lifestyle Pico projector.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that somebody, maybe I shouldn't be surprised. I'm surprised, but I am surprised that somebody like a Microsoft or a Sony hasn't come out with a gaming system with an embedded Pico. Because, I mean, if you guys are doing it. And
that's what we just came out with now. Come on.
But seriously, I think if you guys could do it cost competitively, surely the other, maybe it's a risk. I have no idea. But kudos to you guys for being ahead of the curve. Because I think what you have here is really special. And it's a platform thing, obviously, where you have the SmartPico, you can layer on all ancillary devices and capabilities, and the technology will only improve, like you said, as better and better engines come out and better speakers, or whatever it is.
Whatever. Well, see, we have additional accessories coming out in first quarter that are confidential. That this is, like you said, it's a lifestyle platform device. and then we're going to add and add and add to make the whole ecosystem around what you see.
Yeah, I guess so that covers probably most of the SmartPico. One of the other things you had mentioned was the iris QR code scanner, the lighthouse scanner. Do you want to maybe go into a little bit more detail if we can rewind on that?
What is an iris?
Well, I just wanted to go. I mean, really, what we're all about is providing everything. We want everything to be there. We want the consumer to see all of the information about our product. How many times have you been told to go to a manufacturer's website and you go there and you spend an hour trying to find it? So this is where we hooked up with ImageAmo, and with ImageAmo and with their system, you're able to go and you can scan the iris code that's on your site. With any QR scanner, or you can download their Lighthouse scanner, and now you can see all of our product information on the SmartPico with your reviews all right there. So this is why we've always been a big believer. We want the consumer to see everything right there. We don't want to have to go search around. So that's something that with the ImageAmo system we see where we can provide the user all of the information one place, and one place be able to see everything, to know that exactly what they're getting with the SmartPico. So if you go to your website, scan it with any QR code reader, or download their Lighthouse scanner at lighthousescanner.com, and you'll get it right there. We really appreciate the folks at ImageAmo, because it's something that we believe will help our company and help the product grow.
Yeah, I mean, if you download the Lighthouse Scanner app, it's available for iOS and Android. I've downloaded both because I have 2 devices, and all you do is go, like we posted today. We worked, with your partner there to get the wrapper sent to us for the SmartPico. So we posted that quickly on the website today, and so if anybody wants to go to picopros.com, scroll down to the latest article. Open it up. You'll be able to use, the Lighthouse Scanner app to scan with your smartphone or whatever tablet the QR code. It'll bring you to a special website, basically. We have a virtual 3D environment, and so you can see all different, photos and even some video of the SmartPico that you probably or may have not seen right now. And so this is a way where, at any time you have this QR code that you can scan, but on the back end, whoever's hosting that QR code can actually change the content. So it has huge implications for potentially retailers. That's for another show, but the whole ImageAmo thing, I've talked ad nauseum, not for me ad nauseum, but you could talk about it for hours. It's really interesting what the ImageAmo engine, if you will, enables for potential retailers and whatnot. It's really interesting technology, and you really have to get your arms around it to see how the technology works. But for the sake of the SmartPico, go to the website, scan the QR code, and see where it brings you. It's really, really cool.
Well, that's what I mean. I just scanned it with my tablet. Here is the wrapper right here. You'll be able to see all of the information. So, if you want additional information of the SmartPico, I scanned it. I see the wrapper, and the wrapper is really all of the multimedia wrapped up together. So if I come here and I click, I'll find one of the videos. I click on that image, and then I click on the image again. That's the retail box. And I think one of you guys.
Camera.
Okay, I think one of you guys are going to come up because you'll be able to see the video. So that's really where we think that this technology, we can provide all the consumers. This is how we're going to deliver. Forget reading any instruction manuals.
Yeah.
Nothing I will ever do has an instruction manual. All of the help, because nobody reads it. All of the people, all our instruction manual is going to be delivered through a wrapper. So you'll be able to click. You want to know how to do something, you click it, and you'll see it right there. That's how we're taking everything, just like the SmartPico in the next generation, delivering all of the instructions, all the how-tos, everything about our product right there.
That'd be kind of cool. Maybe you can go into a restaurant and then scan the code and be like, hey, what's the menu? And then you have a picture.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I've talked to the ImageAmo guys quite a bit, and there's they've used the technology for restaurant menus, for all kinds of things.
That's just a simple example.
But with the SmartPico, like he was saying, if you need help on something, instead of having an FAQ and a manual, you could say, okay, here's all our videos, And if you need help on setting it up, here's our video, and you click on it. It launches a video natively to show you how to hook up the SmartPico or how to do this. It's a natural way to enable the whole, smart device to give you,
That's the first time I'm seeing
live advice right there and then.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we're talking how much for the package?
$449 for the entire bundle. The retail price for just the Pico alone is going to be $399. But for us, you're going to be able to get the tripod, everything right there, all in one.
That's fantastic. I mean, a lot of these Pico projectors are, without accessories, are more than that. So I mean, or if they're on competitive price, they don't have the Wi-Fi, they don't have Bluetooth, they don't have the embedded Android.
Philips Pico Pix, which is very similar to that. Lower quality actually.
Yeah, it didn't have an Android. It didn't have an operating system. No,
man.
No, I'm not bashing. I mean, the Philips Pico Pix was a really cool small projector, but yeah, it doesn't have an embedded operating system. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
We want to take the Pico to just the general population, the soccer mom, the gamer, all of these people that can use this, not just someone that needs to plug in. That's where I love the comparison of the movement from the phone to the smartphone. Now with this, it's the movement to the smart Pico and everything that you can do, that it's all embedded right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so we covered SmartPico, we covered ImageAmo. Anthony, I guess before you sign off or anything, is there any other things related to either SmartPico, AccuPix, ImageAmo, anything else you want to highlight before we close up the show?
No, I appreciate you having me on board, and when we start rolling out some of our accessory products, I'm sure we'll come back and give you a demonstration of those, because I think it's going to be revolutionary too.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm glad that we stumbled across you guys 4.5 or whatever years ago it was.
Next week.
Well, thank you for all your help.
Absolutely. So again, this is Anthony Link. He's with Get Smart, associated with AccuPix, and again, it's a SmartPico DLP Pico projector that'll be available. You don't have a date, right? I'm assuming it's probably pretty soon, but
earlier.
It's actually going in fourth quarter. You're going to be able to buy it at a number of retailers.
Fourth quarter, so very soon. So keep an eye out.
Yeah, fourth quarter. In about a month, you'll be able to start ordering them.
That's fantastic. So I'm sure our listeners are very excited. I'm very excited. If I don't see one soon, I'll be pre-ordering mine when they're available.
For sure. Pico Pro special.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, thank you, Anthony. Where can they find you? Is there a good spot they can find you on Twitter, Facebook? Anything you want to highlight here before we sign off?
No, everything will be launching. Will you be able to see it? But whenever we come out, we'll have everything come through you guys, so you guys can break it when the product actually hits the retail shelves.
Do you mind if we bend it like the iPhone 6?
Don't bend it like that. No.
I'm only kidding. Just a
topical humor. So as far as us, if you enjoy the show, be sure to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/PicoPros, YouTube.com/PicoPros. Again, this is the Pico PROSpectives podcast. We are affiliated with AVNation, who does the publishing, or the
organization and the publication.
They do the, I forget what word I'm looking for, but they organize these podcasts. So be sure to look at AVNation.tv. They have a whole host of shows, not just on Pico Projection, but all kinds of AV stuff, whether it's large installations, home installations. They have a wealth of knowledge and dozens of shows, not just one specialty. Go check out avnation.tv. Thanks to George Tucker and the team for producing this podcast. Again, I'm Paul with Pico Pros. This is co-founder Rich. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Later. Have a good night.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thanks, Anthony.